All right, Geminis, happy birthday. Welcome to June. We are in your season, Gemini season. As I'm doing this reading, we have a new moon in your sign of Gemini. This is the end of May, but this reading is for June. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, and you probably have heard me talk a lot about Saturn moving into Aries, a lot of energy in Aries. And I want to say to you that for you, that's a really great thing because it's 60 degrees away from your sign of Gemini, which means it's a sextile, which is a very nice supportive energy. So I'm going to talk about that in the extended, about how the current astrological events that are happening are really supporting Gemini's birth, rebirth, growth, move into a new chapter. So we'll talk about that in a second. Let's see what the reading has to say. Charlie rustling around here. All right, let's see what the reading has to say for you. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Feel free to swap around the energies. As always, just take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate, leave it for the person who it does for. Resonate for, yeah. And check out your Moon, Rising, or Venus sign. Okay, so change in the wind, and I'm going to take this chaos and conflict. These two cards seem very similar to me. I know one's a zebra and one's not. I forget what kind of combo horse that is. I think it's actually, look at that. So underneath, you see all the chaos and conflict is like stripping away this paint of a giraffe. And underneath is this zebra. Okay. And so there's a sense of whatever is happening is going to be for your improvement, for your betterment. And I don't mean that from like an outside source is making you better. I'm feeling like you're kind of like tearing off some kind of costume you've been wearing or some kind of way of living that isn't really you. It's like been a coping mechanism or something like that. Check you out. Soulmates, deep knowing. Wow. Loyal heart. Okay. There's definitely some good stuff coming your way here. And I feel like even if there's not a person showing up right now, what you're doing is you're preparing for something real and deep and special. Okay. You're preparing for something really special. And that can be about you just reclaiming yourself. That's special in and of itself. Doesn't have to be another person at all. This is really about you sort of acknowledging a deep knowing. Now, if you have been through some kind of chaos and conflict recently, or even if it's not recent, like the healing has really started to take hold, or you're just starting to realize what true healing is, I feel like there's a sense of alignment now with what you do and what you say. There likely was another person in your life. I feel like that person's going or gone or has been gone for a while, and you're just sort of unearthing yourself. Yeah. Unearthing your true self, which is really beautiful. So underneath is the 7 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, the Sun. Wow. 5 of Swords. All right, we'll get to that in a second. Queen of Cups, 2 of Wands, 8 of Wands. That's the inner alignment here. You see the third eye, Queen of Cups. Sorry, did I say Queen of Wands? I meant Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. This decision has really brought you into alignment, or you're just deciding to, it's like you're walking your talk. What you're saying now is aligned with your actions. So a lot of times when we're going through some kind of spiritual awakening or healing, there's a lot of emphasis on the aha moments, right? But this is like the next step. This is like, okay, now I know what happened or what's happening. I'm now going to take steps forward. So my walk is going to match my talk. Okay. Yep. There we are. 10 of Cups. Wow. The World. This is really incredible. Hierophant. Some kind of love commitment here. 6 of Wands. Queen of Swords. Clarity. Air sign. And the 7 of Cups. This is like a new layer. Okay, so some of you are very, very astute at your own, you know, in your own healing or in your own life. Some of you are really now seeing an experience that you had, maybe a family experience with this Five of Swords. This seemed okay to you. You didn't realize that it was super unhealthy. And now you're realizing it. And now, not even just realizing it, this may have been a realization for you for a long time. Now you're kind of stepping into taking action on it. This Taurus energy, we have Uranus at the very end of Taurus. It's going to be moving into your sign of Gemini this summer. And I feel like there's something that is Uranian. Uranian energy is about change and transformation, but it's sudden. And I feel like you intuitively know that there's some big change coming. It's a very positive, big change that's on its way. For some of you, I feel like this, like, remember what I said about like this seemed very normal to you, and it was just like that's the way of things. But then there's this Five of Swords, and I did see the Devil card when I was shuffling. And so there's a Five of Swords here, and it's almost like the thing that seemed really normal in the past was because you were kind of faking it. Okay, or if not faking it, then you dressed up the other person as like this pony, but they're really a zebra, right? Like you really were kind of putting lipstick on a pig here. And you're like, nope, totally normal, totally fine. Nope, totally normal, totally fine. And I feel like now that you're walking your talk, you're really basically sort of redefining for yourself what happiness, what joy is, what good stuff is. And we're walking away from a chapter where it was like, nope, everything's fine, nothing to see here. Right? Everything's fine, nothing to see here. That's why we're changing. Now the zebra's here, you're changing. You don't want anything that you have to kind of dress up in another outfit to make it look palatable or anything like that. And I just feel like you're really cutting through a lot of confusion that you've had about this. So there might be some revelations in terms of your own healing. This week in Pathfinders, I'm going to be talking about signs of unhealed trauma in your day-to-day activities, and like what does that even look like? And as I was putting on I have 100 of these black hoodies, and you see me wear them all the time. One of the symptoms, or one of the tells of there's still trauma to heal, is wearing the same thing day after day. Even if like I have 100 of them, it's not like the same thing, but it's essentially the same outfit. Just, some are new, some are old, some whatever. But I was like, oh yeah, that's one of them. Okay, because it's like safety. And I'm a Gemini moon, and we do have Jupiter at the end of your sign of Gemini right now. And it's about to pop into Cancer. That will happen in June. Jupiter leaving your sign. Jupiter has been traveling in your sign for quite a while now, a year, in fact. And yes, takes 12 years to get around. Yeah, that's right. So that Jupiterian energy is kind of muted in your sign of Gemini, because it rules Sagittarius. It rules the opposite sign. So what can be happening with that, since Sagittarius is all about truth and honesty, there's some kind of truth and honesty popping through, especially if you have any planets at the end of your sign of Gemini. If your sun is in the very end of Gemini, or your moon, like mine's at 27 degrees, then there can be an activation of something deeply acknowledged, or you're deeply aware of it. It's almost like subconscious. Okay, there's some subconscious information popping through. And I feel like this is because you are really committed to your healing, especially when there was something very difficult that you have to heal from, that Five of Swords. Even though it's kind of the only yucky card. That's a technical term, by the way. Yucky card in the whole reading. Because of this chaos and conflict and everything, I'm kind of like, this has been under wraps. Just like the zebra has been under wraps, under this, like a painted pony or something like that. And you're spending a lot of time doing, if you aren't, you likely will be drawn to spending time to in meditation or in healing or something like that. And I feel like that's moving you forward. I almost feel like there's something idyllic, all right, about this 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. There's something idealized, like you've idealized something, even though it was like a 7 or a 3, it was a 10, right? To everybody else, it was a 10. And this also too, it's like when something is fake perfect, super inauthentic, right? When something like looks perfect to other people and you work really hard at that perfectionism, there's a sense of authenticity that gets drained from your, especially if this is something that's long-term, pervasive kind of way of life, as opposed to just cleaning up before your in-laws show up. But still, like if that's the thing, if you know, nobody cleans faster than someone who has a person coming 5 minutes in 5 minutes, right? Nobody does that faster. And there's a sense of like, if I hear some of you going, my house is already perfect, but I still clean. There might be something there. If you're, this is like showing up. There's something breaking through. There's some kind of unhealed wound breaking through. Okay. And that's going to be very, very impactful. It could be about your beliefs about relationships, your beliefs about what you deserve in relationships, your belief about what's normal. And I feel like sometimes when we do something, like I was just talking about this black hoodie, sometimes we do something and we don't realize that it's not okay until someone else points it out or something like that. I remember wearing, and this was the same sweatshirt over and over every single day in high school after my father died. And Mrs. Greger pointed that out to me. I kind of wasn't even really aware of it. I just wanted to be safe. I just wanted to feel safe. And so I would wear that and wash it every day. There's new information coming in for you. 3 of Wands, 4 of Swords, 8 of Cups. Yeah, this is the new journey. King of Pentacles. So this is the 10 of Pentacles. This is about you sort of being in charge now of the, like 10 of Pentacles. This is almost a little bit like she's enjoying the fruits of labor. And this is about being the fountain of abundance, oneself. This could come from an outside source, right? This could come from family inheritance, or could come from a spouse or something else. It comes from external. This is about internal wealth. And so in order to be internally wealthy or internally self-sustaining, there needs to be some kind of transformation in how you look at yourself and how you believe, how you are creating something in your life that is truly authentic, as opposed to something that just looks good. It's the looks good on paper family, right? As opposed to the maybe slightly messier, but very happy, authentic life. I would want the latter. And I feel like that's something that if it had been one way in your life, and maybe this is in the past, doesn't even have to be just happening right now, but there's definitely something, there's some cracks in the facade about what you think is normal, what you think is okay. Maybe because someone points it out to you and you go like, oh, ugh, like I didn't realize. What is the 5 of Swords? What is the 5 of Swords here? High Priestess. There's an that's the deep knowing, inner knowing, same thing. The moon, your new moon in Gemini happening today. There's that devil card that I said I saw while shuffling. Yeah. some big cracks in the facade of perfection that's not perfection. And it's like, I don't feel like you are devastated by this at all. I just feel like this is a freeing kind of thing because you're going to be set free. Some kind of revelation that's coming through this Eight of Wands is really going to set you free. All right, let's keep going. Let's go deep. If you want to continue on with me, link is below. I'll talk more about the astrology and we'll look at what you don't see coming. All right, Gemini, see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.